situation play out. Got all the way towards the top 5 last time with a lot of eliminations, making sure that they're going to get that ticket to New York.
And if you watch in the top left, Vato, unfortunately, he gets traded out. He's gone down and he gets picked up by FaZe Vorwin. And right before that, I was going to say, drop down to 18 HP. In his mind, he's probably thinking, this is his moment to shine in the sun, down to 8 HP. He has to make something happen. Even just hitting top 5 would make the difference right now, Bala.
And I don't even think all these builds are his. You can see as soon as he got into the next box, he frantically makes but it's Tux who took out Vato earlier. He uses the stink bomb at the opportune moment and takes out a few more. That's 7 eliminations total. Vorwin's still up though, so he still has an opportunity to make this work.
Oh man, eliminated 6 there, just on the cusp, but it's okay. Again, that's now the highest point value we've seen. Even evade ads, look at this, 75 points right now. These numbers are getting out of control. Vorwin down on the lowest ground. He's going to be dropped.
He's got to break through metal, though.
He's got to find Sensei. Look up. He's got to get Sensei. He's going to drop down in front. No. He does not get the trade out. Ads right now has the health advantage. Frenzy and Sensei, look at them both. They're so hurt that the Storm is continuing to tick them out, and it is not enough. It's Ads and Frenzy get the victory royale.
Man, Zeke, we're 79 points.
I can't
and
do
that
this.
could be 80 because I know that elimination counter is slow to update towards the end of these replays. It could be enough, and that could even be possibly their last game, or they could have gotten one more in before these queues. I mean, Zeke, this is coming straight down to the wire here in Europe.
Oh my goodness, man. Of course it would be like this for the final week. It's been like this every, periodically we've seen moments like this where we've seen players edged out at the very end.
And I gotta, Vato and Skype, man.
Yes.
Out in 6th place in that game, not quite making it to 5th place. That could come back to bite them in a terrible fashion. It could be heartbreaking for them, but we go ahead and catch up with them later in the standings. We'll see where they all end up. Here, Thomas and Kluja finding 1 elimination this game, and again, we're looking at the point ranges. 77 was that, but as we saw that last game, they pushed over that 77.
So don't forget, they're at 83 points when we last saw them. So right now, if you're looking at Thomas and his duo partner, Kluja.
Okay, I'll look. Yeah,
of 6 points. That's top 10. They're at, or excuse me, top 5. With a few eliminations sprinkled in there, man, I do not want to see Sky and Vato get edged out again. They've come so close so many times. This has got to be their week, and you've got to think they're thinking the same thing, right? They're like, it's all come down. We've put everything on the line. We're playing our hearts out. This is our week to qualify. Just keep your head up and keep positive.
And let's not forget about Tux and Vorwin there in that last game as well. Contesting with Skype and Vato, actually taking them out.
Right.
First, Vato ends up getting split, and Tux takes advantage of that. And then the stink bomb coming in at the perfect moment. Skype not having any white heals. We talked about it earlier. So ending up edging them into that top 5 and finding some eliminations on the way too.
Probably kicking themselves, thinking if we had made that top 5, it would have just helped ensure that our placements were very high. But right now, the current game, Brolof here and his duo partner Artemis Swede, they're in top 15. Don't forget that first round of placement points is great, but they're at the 39 threshold. They've got to make more happen. And don't forget Thomas and Kluja, they're sitting on 77 if I remember correctly. The question would be, who else is in this lobby? What other big names can we scout out?
It's not just big names, but anybody who's up at the top of the leaderboards right now, because as far as I'm concerned, Thomas and Kluja are the subjects of this game as far as we've seen so far. Obviously, everybody else getting the action. Berloof here, we've already seen them pick up 1. They picked up another knock. Are they going to be able to find the elimination here? And they're holding them in zone. They're going to actually probably get this. Definitely the knock is going to be confirmed.
Oh, he should have just taken the shots with the AR. He's going to get blue damage numbers over. Here we go. Isla there gets picked up, but
يا شباب تبون العاب اللي يبين العاب يكتب لي في الكومنتات عشان اشوف.
Save himself from taking the damage, but was on high ground. He's looking to see, maybe I'm going to make a play right now. No, he's going to decide, I want to join my teammate, and Sweet has a perfect hole for him as he edits him down through it. It's Thomas and Kluja on high ground, by the way.
Yeah, this is a game, they need to close this game out, right? Like,
yes.
We know for a fact, 83, again, in case you just tuned in, that was the highest threshold we've seen for points. Kluja and Thomas, they were at 77 not that long ago. They're about to hit top 10, which is another round of placement points on top of any eliminations they picked up along the way. Down below, though, Sweet and Artemis, Sweet, and Burloof, I hope I'm saying that correctly. They're making things happen, right? They've got the 6 eliminations. They want to try and rack up as many as possible, but they are so far behind right now.
And I've got to criticize the use of that second Shadow Bomb there instead of getting into the box. Maybe a misclick or something, because now he doesn't have the rotation to stay with his teammate Burloof, who does have one more Shadow Bomb remaining. They're going to have to path in and walk it in.
Right now, again, top 10 is another round of placement points. Everything is going to slow down. Santo is single, unfortunately picked off right there at the edge, missing out on those points. I want to go back up top, right? I want to see what's going on with Kluja. I want to see their points right now. Burloof, Sweet, he's dropped down to nothing. Anyone could accidentally sneeze in his direction and he could get picked off. Someone finds it. It's Detox who's going to be picked off in the crossfire there. Now Sweet, again, he's ticking. It must be within a stink bomb, and he gets traded out. Burloof does. But Sweet, look, his HP jumps up, so he must have found elimination.
A second before, if that player doesn't come from behind, he actually gets the siphon and probably survives there.
Yep.
So everything coming down to these milliseconds decision. I still haven't seen Thomas. Yes, they finally got one elimination from up on high ground. Sweet starting to use that campfire to its full effectiveness here as the zone starts to go back in the other direction. 5 duos remaining, 7 total players.
Oh, and Thomas gets picked up. That puts Artemis Sweet in the top 5, another round of placement points. So does that mean, that must mean they both have been eliminated? Yes, they are both gone. Right now on the high ground, you've got a player, and everyone else is super huddled together, because don't forget, this play space is just shrinking right now. Stir6, his dual partner Twix, is alive. They find Sweet, who gets picked off.
I love the placement of that trap, though, and the quick reaction from Sweet to actually edit his cone in a certain way so he can make it out unscathed, but still, 4 duos remaining. 1 player drops behind. They're all the same skin for some reason, and Sty6 is going to be able to find him easily. So that duo down on low ground by themselves right now against 2 more players, Nijulian and Oxy right here.
And down below, Styrix and Twix are the only duo left. They immediately shut down Oxy. Just let's cooperate, let's shut this guy down, and now they're in a 2v1. Gooden here is going to have the fight of his life, and he's on the 64 points. We've seen a lot of players hovering in that range. This could make the difference if he could find both of these eliminations and the victory royale. 5 points could make the difference. He gets cracked, Bala, down to 23-13. Oh my God! Oh my God! That was the sickest split knock I've ever seen!
That could have been the sickest split knock I've ever seen, because if he got that elimination and landed, he could have gotten the siphon and all of a sudden forced this into a 1v1 with HP advantage. But unfortunately going to go out into the zone, not able to control himself with the flint knock. Just like Zeke here, a little bit of excitement there from that play.
I'm melting in my chair. I'm just slowly sliding down. I'm trying to collect myself, Fortnite fan, but it's not working right now. Next game, 62 players, 34 duos, still sliding down. 85 points from Rojo and Wolfies? Okay, guys. All right, listen.
So they were slowing down when we last took a look at the standings when I was up there with you, Zeke. They were slowing down. They fell out of that first place. They're starting to creep down to that 6th, the 7th. We were talking about whether their games have been played yet, but climbing back in a strong fashion here. They've got 1 more game, and at 85 points, if they make this a big one, they could break 100 and almost guarantee themselves a spot to New York.
Shifted mindset, and have said, we need to punch our tickets. We need to be on the stage of the World Cup Finals in New York City right now. They've got 3 eliminations between them. Don't forget, top 15 is the round of placement points. They are halfway there. They've got to play this smart. They've got to find these few eliminations, like this 1 player roaming around. Oh my God! Elite gets picked off, another elimination heading their way, and look at this, they're just looking to confirm eliminations, beam players as they can, while being as safe as possible, because look at all the shadow bombs, chug splashes, the combat, minis, they've got it all. They're looking to make this, Bala.
It's kind of crazy. I actually thought that he had an infantry rifle in his hands, but no, it's actually a heavy AR, which you don't see used too often anymore because of the effectiveness of that infantry rifle at long range, but you can't, you got to take what you get, and maybe he even prefers the heavy AR, because it does have, you know, a bigger clip in it. It's quite as much damage, but up in the top left right now, we're not only looking at the thresholds reaching top 25, but Mr. Savage goes down in this game. Not too consequential because he's already qualified for New York, but that's another hint that they're probably not going to be making it up there and taking those top 4 spots.
That's right. Don't forget they've qualified, which means right now they're playing for money, which is great. So you got to think they're trying to find eliminations. Den Magic Pulse, by the way, someone tweeted at us. That means the magical sausage. You're welcome. The more you know. More shots coming out here from Ollie is cracked. He did not manage to crack that player's shields, but the shots were pretty on point, and he's, of course, 761 above the damage threshold for the Storm. There, Motor, for just a brief moment, peeks out, and Ollie finds and secures it.
I think he might have also hit Motor's teammate, Ferox.
I believe he did.
As he jumped out of that box, I'm looking at Wolfies and Rojo right now, carpeting their way towards the zone. They're going to go ahead and decide to launch pad. They use that, you know, tarp for a second just to get ahead of everybody else, make sure they're not gonna, you know, hit their heads and waste the launch pad effectively. But here, Benji using those chug splashes to immediately get back to max health, starting his turtle forward.
And the fish out of water here. I mean, the duel of these, you know, we kind of, it's funny that you said we may not see them in top 10, but look at the point thresholds.
I know.
They said, look, Bala, we're savage, we're Benji Fishy, bro. Don't put us out. By the way, four rounds in the AR, only 4.
And Zeke finds actually 2 players who didn't edit their box close. He's going to take out Black. And his teammate as well, Stoico, going down, and that's probably the end of their run in the World Cup.
Benji literally just said, Zeke, I don't care about these 4 AR rounds. Watch me pick up the double, and now I'm sitting on 300. Check me again, bro! I'm a fish out of water! I can breathe in fresh air! That was, in case you didn't see that, that was a thing at the summer block party, which made me laugh, by the way. Go back and watch those little interstitials. They're fantastic. That's what I was referencing. But 86 points over on Wolfsies and Rojo.
Yeah, and he's actually in trouble here as the Shadow Bomb. This player actually doesn't realize, though, he's going to take a nice shot onto Mawaka, sorry. As Wolfie's making his way forward, Rojo is split, but we've seen this situation before. Again, reaching towards that 90 points right now. One more elimination is going to do it, but Rojo goes down, and it's all up to Wolfie's right now.
All right, here we go. So Rojo gets picked up. But now look, they've just hit that 90-point threshold.
عليكم السلام ورحمة علي.
If Wolfies could clutch it up by himself, he'd have to at least get the Victory Royale, which is another 7 points, and at least 3 eliminations. There's still 10 players. It's doable.
To get 100, is that what you're
to break the triple digits. Yeah, I want to see the 100. I want to see it because you know they want to see it too.
I mean, based on what scores I'm seeing already spread out throughout the map and the games that we've seen, I think he's already probably clinched it. But you know, he's thinking, I have to perform the best I have ever done here. I have to win this game if I want to make it, because I don't have high ground. I don't have a teammate. I've got to do everything. I've got to take all the responsibility on my shoulder, all the pressure from all 10 weeks, and do it right now, Zeke.
That's right. And you got to think they're probably saying, like, just imagine this was you on the stage of the World Cup Finals, right? Imagine you're in that moment. Take everything, all the practice, the long hours you put and dedicated to this game and focus it and hone it in right now. Wolfies, he's got 3 eliminations. Again, 94 points. If you get...
الحين بدخل معاه اشوف سكن معكم ها اتوقع منو قايل لكم منو انا بقفل بس تبون شيء هذا يلعب معي هذا يجي شوفوا